immediately after the war, there were elements of triumphalism, too much of it. But fortunately, the president stopped it. It was getting too far. And I remember when I was at a meeting in Temple Trees, where the president invited the civil society organizations. He was interested to see what could be done. Already the camps in the north were being filled with large numbers of people. And when he talked about the situation in the camps, the problems in the camps, I then had the opportunity to get up and I said, Your Excellency, you have won the war, but now you have to win the peace. And to win the peace, you have to have a different mindset, a different way of encompassing the other. And this is the opportunity you have to win the peace. People expected. We had many opportunities even before that. The tsunami was one. When in 20 minutes, about 40,000 people died with the massive wave that engulfed our coastal line. Then two people said, let us take this opportunity to rebuild the country. We lost that opportunity through political division. So now is another opportunity. And people expected, therefore, that it could bring that lost opportunities for 30 years. Of course, the peace is there, and people are grateful. Today, people can walk in the streets without the fear of bombs. Parents can be assured that their children will come home and that a bomb will not blast a bus. There is peace in the country. But unfortunately, the expectation for a program of reconciliation has not happened. And for example, if you take the camps, 300,000 people. This was the worst hostage crisis in the world, where an organization used 300 people as a human shield and hid inside and through the human shield to wage their battle. And the people were emaciated, people were desperate. The food that they received were taken away from them by the cadres of the LTT for their own food. And when they all returned to the government side, they thought, here comes freedom, here is freedom. But what they faced when they went in was barbed wires. The freedom of movement was not there. There was lots of problems. But I'm glad that after 6 months, that the government's promise of releasing the majority of the people has happened, and that Ambassador Blake himself, who had visited the camps, had acknowledged the fact that there is significant improvement in the situation of the people. But those 6 months was traumatic to the people. In that, these people were people with property, officials, salaried cadre, all kinds of people who had lost everything. And the first step we have to take is to heal that wound and to find ways and means of dealing with that trauma. There are 10,000 or 15,000 ex-combatants. They have no education in most cases. And how do you deal with such large numbers and bring them back into the democratic framework? These are challenges. Now, another phenomenon which is very typical for Sri Lanka is that we replaced our war, the direct war, and now what we have is political war. Since the last 6 months, we have had a series of provincial council elections, one after the other. And these elections are not only wasteful, but they have also been filled with violence from both sides, rigging of the elections, a whole lot of very unpleasant things, so that the political culture of violence continued in another form.